What's up everyone? E3 is right around the corner, and so I thought I'd do a video on what I expect to see at E3 this year from Microsoft. It'll be fun to come back to this after E3 and see how accurate or inaccurate I was, depending on what the case may be. I'll start out with things I'm almost 100% certain we'll see. First will be Killer Instinct Season 2. We know there's going to be 8 new characters and they've already begun work on it. So I'd expect to see some Killer Instinct Season 2 character. This should put some fears to rest about the new developers of the game, as all the assets were already in place. Expect Season 2 to start rolling out later in 2014. Next up, we're guaranteed to see gameplay from Sunset Overdrive. This is an Insomniac Games Xbox One exclusive. It's completely open world, third-person shooter, and will use the cloud to implement a completely dynamic city that is consistently in motion and growing. This is one of the surprises that didn't get much play last year at E3, but when Ted Price is at a Microsoft E3 conference showing off an Xbox One exclusive, that's freaking huge in my opinion. And we know this game is coming out this year as well. Sunset Overdrive will launch later in 2014 exclusively on the Xbox One. Next up, we'll see Quantum Break. This is the new Remedy Games game, and it's looking to employ a great premise between a video game and how playing that game can change the television series which is included on the game. It's breaking ground, actually, and it's very, very important to do that when you're bridging the gap between entertainment, movies, television, and games. Now, there is a lot of mystery surrounding this game, but one thing's for sure. Microsoft completely owns the IP, and Remedy Games are masters of storytelling and cutting-edge graphics. I believe we'll see Quantum Break get a 2014 release as well, possibly late November or early December in time for the holidays. We're going to see something from Halo this year. My guess is that we'll see Halo 2 Anniversary and something from Halo 5 as well. 343i isn't working on Halo 2 Anniversary. Most likely that was passed off to Certain Affinity and Saber Interactive like Halo CE Anniversary was. What's interesting about this aspect is that Phil Spencer has said 343 is gearing up for an epic E3. So that means they will be at E3 and we'll probably at least see some gameplay. And that's going to melt people's socks off. I expect Halo 5 to really impress a lot of people. I also think that some of these rumors are true. Buy Halo 2 Anniversary and get access to the Halo 5 beta next year on Xbox One. The reason we'll see Halo 2 Anniversary is simple. They can release it on Xbox 360 as well, and it's a lot of people's favorite Halo. This gives Xbox One another full year to gain a larger install base, and it'll put the DirectX 12 enabled Halo 5 against Sony's Uncharted 4 next year most likely. So look for Halo 2 Anniversary in 1080p on the Xbox One this year with a completely built from the ground up online, but we'll also see gameplay from Halo 5 as well at E3. I'd expect the Halo 5 stuff to really impress. I'm almost 100% sure we'll see both of these things at E3. Mark it down. Crap Gamer says so. Now it's on to the really fun part, which is more of the guessing game. Some of these guesses are pretty obvious, but it's still always fun to speculate. I believe we'll see Forza Horizon 2 or Forza Deep South as it's called. Either way, it'll be the sequel to Forza Horizon. This is the open world game and it's more of an arcade racer, and yet it still has that amazing Forza Motorsport handling. Rumor has it that it has some cloud computing in this game as well, helping with dynamic lighting and weather. I am almost 100% sure of this being at E3 because Microsoft wants a Forza game every year, and we know Playground Games has been working on a high-profile racing game. I believe Forza Horizon 2 will release this year for the Xbox One and could quite honestly beat out Drive Club's release date in the process. That would be an epic rack'em in my opinion. Next up is Fable Legends. We know this game has been in production for a while now, but we know very little about it. One thing we do know is that the game is using completely dynamic lighting and shadows, and it's using the Unreal Engine 4. I'm not sure we'll see the game released this year, but there is supposed to be a beta this year for the game. We do know it's unlike any other Fable game, as it's planned to be supported for over 5 years with new content. They haven't exactly called it an MMORPG, but it has a lot of those elements, and it's a 4-person co-op, sort of like Borderlands. So there's a lot of information to be shared regarding this title, so we will 100% see something about Fable Legends at E3 this year, and we'll know a lot more about it. And we'll probably get a beta release date, but we're not going to get the actual game release date this year. but a lot of information and the game looks beautiful from what we've seen so far. Next up would be a bit of a surprise, but I think we'll see something from Class 4, which is the open world MMO zombie game from Undead Labs. They created State of Decay on the Xbox 360 and had the MMO version in the planning stages before that game even came out. There's word that Microsoft is investing heavily into this IP as they completely own the franchise and signed a multi-year, multi-game deal with Undead Labs exclusively. They might even develop a State of Decay television show for Xbox TV, which I think has a ton of potential. I'm about 60 to 70% sure we'll see something from Class 4 this E3 from Microsoft. Now, expect to see Project Spark's full release date and some goodies announced for that game as well this E3. Right now it's in the beta stage, but the game is supposed to see a full release this year on Xbox One, so that's an added bonus for Xbox One owners. I am almost relatively sure we'll see a new Banjo-Kazooie game from Rare at E3. They've been working on multiple projects, and Phil Spencer loves platformers, which is something the Xbox brand has lacked since the end of the original Xbox. I think it would be a reboot or might just be Banjo 3, I don't know, but at any rate, I'd fully expect to see an old Rare IP make an appearance at E3 this year. And even if it's not Banjo, I'm almost 100% sure we'll see something from them. So mark that down, come back later on, make fun of me if I'm wrong, or say, hey, Crappy was right if I'm right. Now, even though the Kinect isn't something everyone enjoys or likes, they still need to put some software out on it. I know we'll see more from D4, which is a crazy episodic game that uses Kinect. You can use the regular controller too, but it's fully playable with Kinect. Think of it as a crazy style game. It kind of looks like The Wolf Among Us. It's in that kind of vein. So it's definitely going to be interesting, and they say it's going to be a very mature, cool Kinect game from everybody that's played it so far. I also think we'll see a new Dance Central. This is one of the most played games on the Xbox 360's Kinect, and it also sold the best. And it makes a complete sense to bring it to the much more accurate and powerful Xbox One Kinect. Harmonix has gone on record saying that they've got some big plans for the IP, and I think the timing is right. I know for a fact D4 will release in 2014. Fairly sure we'll see Dance Central release in 2014 as well. Now, obviously, there's going to be surprises and new IP. Since there's surprises and new IPs, I'm not going to have any way to know what the hell they are. I'll guess and say we'll see at least 3 new IPs announced on the Xbox One this E3, and maybe one of these could even be the Japanese exclusive that's supposed to launch in time for the Xbox One's launch in Japan this September. Now, even though it's not an exclusive, I think we'll see more on the Xbox One version of Minecraft as well. The main thing that sets the Xbox One version apart is that it's just as large as the PC version, uses Azure servers for multiplayer, and is the only console version to do this. The Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and Vita versions of Minecraft are all the same. So basically, if you played the GIMP 360 version, that's what you're going to get with the PS3, Vita, or PS4. That's the power of the cloud and free servers, folks. This is going to be a crazy, action-packed E3 from Microsoft, and outside of the games, I expect a full price cut to $399 with Kinect included, and possibly even a game. We'll see lots of bundles going forward. We'll see the implementation of Xbox One's Games for Gold announced as well. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty impressive thing to see. I think we might see something on the backwards compatibility front as well. We know Microsoft is working on Xbox 360 emulation, and if Microsoft can get the Xbox One to emulate 360 discs that we already own, it basically makes PlayStation Now and Gaikai obsolete. What do you guys want to see from Microsoft this year? Sound off in the comment section and let me know. Please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and rack 'em. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer, out.